We are live. Hello,
Yay!
everyone.
So
My name
good to
is
see you.
my name is Tasha, and welcome to my channel. On this channel, sometimes I do Married at First Sight reviews with my normal co-host Kason. But he's not here today. Today we are joined by y'all already know who she is, Dr. Siobhan. She is joining me today because Kason is indisposed. So Um, some people on here say hello, so I know who's here. I miss my people. So,
Oh,
some people on here say hello. I missed y'all so much. It's literally only been like 3 weeks. It's only been 3 weeks, and it's just like, dang, I miss everybody.
yeah,
Um,
for sure.
it's only been 3 weeks, and it's just like,
Yeah, I
dang,
have the
I miss
same
everybody. Um,
the same audio. Yep.
wait, why is my? Oh, yours turned on.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was mine.
I'm like, wait. So today we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about.
Oh my gosh, the
So,
trauma.
okay, we're gonna do it in sections. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna rewind because last night they started a new. Hi,
Jamal,
Jamal.
we thought we lost you.
Yeah, there was a few weeks there. We thought you wasn't coming back.
Oh, welcome back. Yeah, Jamal, you missed the presentation of the LOEC.
You did.
Unless he caught
Yeah.
it on demand, so I don't want to. I don't want to take credit. He probably watched it later.
What was I about to say? Season 13 started last night, Houston, Texas.
Mhm.
And so I watched the full 3 hours just for this. But we're going to go back first and we're going to talk a little bit more about season 12, even though we've been talking about it for the past 18 months. We're going to talk about it a little bit more
We thought we
because,
birthed this baby, but evidently not. Evidently not.
bruh,
Evidently we're still pregnant.
still like, oh my gosh, all right, when are we going to be done? They dragged it on themselves, and then the couples dragged it on further on after that.
Right.
It's like y'all didn't have to do this. We it was so draining. So if you watch season 12, that was in Atlanta, then you know the season ended with three couples staying married, two couples divorcing. The couples that stayed married were Brown and Vincent, and Eric and Virginia, and Claire and Ryan.
Hmm.
Okay, Son and I have predicted those three couples would stay together, except that Eric and Virginia would break up after,
Right.
right? Eric and Virginia have broken up. They have filed for divorce
Oh my gosh.
a week or two ago, so
Dun
they're
dun dun.
they're on the outs.
Ugh,
But also, Clara and Ryan have filed for divorce. What was that, last week?
yes.
Last week, after they had just did an interview the week before talking about how great of a marriage they were having and how much they were learning about each other and how great it was going.
How much
Then
stronger they are and united. The girl, the
how
front.
much they've learned about each other, how everything has been going well. They're about to redo their vows again in
Right.
January. And literally a week later, they was like, "No, we good. We were just playing. We just wanted to maybe get a couples can. We didn't make it, so we just decided not to do it. I don't know. Like, what happened?
It is so deceitful to the public. And I think what's so irritating about their announcement, Tasha, is that I think you and Kasan called it, right? So you guys said, yeah, we think that they're going to
Yeah,
break up after the show, right? But here's what's annoying to me. They break up after the show and then they come back and say, we appreciate as you all respect our privacy. It's like, what privacy? You were on a reality show. Don't come up
you
in here telling me closed doors.
you was
What
on a
do you
reality show and you was lying the whole time anyway. So you been private. You been private.
what do you
You
mean?
sat
Yeah,
here and lied to us for weeks and weeks and weeks, and you expect us not to have any kind of reaction, which doesn't make any sense.
it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. And allegedly, Eric had a DUI. He's having challenges with the job.
Eric had the DUI.
Yeah, which is crazy because somebody in the comments online was like, I wish he had slept on somebody's couch now. Wish he had called up one of Virginia's friends and slept on their couch instead of coming home. But all of that is alleged. We don't know what's true. But obviously, if you have a DUI, that affects your ability to be a pilot.
Right.
Yikes. So we wish them well, but you all predicted correctly. Y'all said that it was not going to work. And
it was clear.
I mean, for Brianna and Vincent to be the outstanding
the last two standing.
Oh my gosh. Who would have guessed?
I mean, I had no reservations about them being together. So I guessed that they were I guess they were going to stay together. I didn't see any reason why they wouldn't be together.
Tasha, does it change your perspective about the experts or about production? Just seeing the full outcome, like finally, maybe we can close this book about season 12. Maybe season 12 is actually coming to an end. Does it change your perspective at all about the experts, or do you know more about production that might have given you some insights? How do you feel?
So from what I have gathered, this particular season has given us so much back behind the scenes info than any season ever. Season 12 has literal dumpster fire, literal so many pull back the curtain. We are watching production on the screen because they have to get involved for some reason. Like this is not supposed to happen.
Right.
And so I've heard that hold on one second. My mom is
Yeah, Jamal, it was 1 week difference. It was like an announcement was made in 1 week, and then that following week, we got the news that they were broken up. So crazy. Go ahead. Yeah.
So the people that have been this particular season, I found out most of these people didn't apply. They didn't apply to this show. They were approached. My first time ever hearing about that was season 11 when Bennett was talking to Amelia. Bennett applied for the show. Amelia was like, some girl called her and was like, hey, you want to be on this reality show? And she was like, sure, that could be fun. And that was when they had he was like, he didn't feel like she was in it for the right reasons. He was kind of not sure. So then I was like, okay, how often does that happen? Chris got approached, Ryan got approached, Clara got approached. So I know those for sure. So I'm not exactly sure who actually even applied for this show on this season. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Yeah, that plays a big part in motives and really how much you're willing to work at this, right?
So it's not like I was seeing the show and was like, you know what? I really want love. It's like somebody was like, hey, you want to see if maybe you can do a thing? And they're like, sure, I'll try it. You know what I mean? It's not even like this isn't
a game show. Oh, yuck. That turns me off totally. I didn't know that at all. That's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know who actually applied from this season, but a lot of people were approached. So that it's different. Ryan said he was approached, but he was saying he was at this point in his life where it's something that he actually really wanted. And if this opportunity that came to him it was for a reason, and he was definitely all in about it, which I do believe he was all in about it, but it's different than somebody who was like, no, this is my last resort. I'm going to come to these people for help. I'm going to be completely open because this is my last resort, as opposed to somebody who comes in saying, I'm here. Oh, you want to be on this thing? Yeah, but I got these particular things that I am and I'm not going to do because you came to me. So this is what I want. Deliver on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally different approaches.
So
that changes things. Yeah.
And then, so since the end of the season, Chris has been going on a rampage tour. Ooh. And has just, he had just been telling the tea on everybody. Okay, he's like, this person did this person blew up my phone. I was about to fight with this person in the DMs. We in a text. He was talking about they was in a text group. He came at Jake. Talking about, are you guys going to say, what is going on?
Yeah. He just went all out defending his character. And I think that if he had a good PR person on his team, they would have said, let this thing die on its own and people will forget your
It
50.
wouldn't have.
I don't think
The
that by
vitriol.
I don't think that releasing fury on what everybody else did brought any other validity to who he is. I still think
Sure.
he's a jerk. I still think, I mean, we knew that production plays a hand in these things, but it doesn't lessen the fact that he was a part of a show and brought tremendous trauma and toxicity to it. And telling me about what Jacob does or what Eric does doesn't change my perspective on Chris at all. Like,
Yeah,
okay, so now
I
I
feel
think
like,
others are jerks too, but that's not why you release that kind of stuff, you know?
yeah, I think that I'm not Chris's in Chris's fan club. But I do feel like he had right to be angry, and that things were blown up and spun in a way to make it even to look worse. That it was terrible already, but it was like, no, we're going to continue to pile on this thing to make this the highlight of the season. We're going to make you the person that makes this season the most memorable and in a terrible way.
Sure.
And you don't know that this is what we're going to do. So because he was saying after the thing, he was like, because even from just production telling him that Pastor Dwight wasn't going to be at the reunion, he said, I'm not coming if he's going to be there. Then they bring him in. He said this figure says he's coming and they bring him anyway. That's not that I'm not okay with this person and you're stirring this up. Like, you know what I mean? Even that. And then I was telling you last night, and so I'm telling y'all now. He was talking about how when the first time that him and Paige was done, when he said that he was going to get a divorce, he was going to do it. Yeah. And then Paige contacted him on the back end and was like, hey, can you just stay on so I can get this check from production? Can you just stay on for some filming so I can get this check? And he was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to stop your bag, right? Just because we don't got to be together. Yeah. And then at the end, he was like, I did that. And then it got a lot of stuff got made to look like I'm even worse of a villain when I'm only here because you asked me to be here. So, okay. It was like, season 12 was a dumpster fire.
It was awful. It was dumpster fire. And so that segues into how hesitant I was about being involved in 13. When we talked the other night, I'm like, absolutely not. I'm not doing 13. I haven't recovered or healed. Ayanla would tell me that I need to lay flat on my belly on the grass somewhere to heal from 12 and all that trauma. So I was like, I don't care what 13's got going on. I don't care about anything Lucky 13 or how big things are in Texas. I'm not with the crap because Lifetime hooked us in. They hooked us in with this love story and they show us how beautiful these gowns are and how pressed these suits are and how touching these moments and vows are. And then they flood you.
And it's never been like this. So it's like, when did y'all decide that this was the direction to take? I don't watch Married at First Sight to get angry. I don't need I watch Married at First Sight to get my happy hormones going. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm trying to be in my feelings and cheesing and excited for love. I don't get on here to having to look at my blood pressure. Right. Having to monitor my breathing. That's not why I watch Married at First Sight. To be stressed? No. Right. So I don't know. Exactly. And I don't really know why they decided to make that turn. Of course, they got way more views this season, but none of those people are watching next season, right? Your core audience is now pissed off, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I feel hoodwinked for sure.
Because when's the last time they had one couple stay married? Yeah. A long time ago.
We talked about this, right? We talked about the expectancy of, I know what I'm getting into when I watch, this is my show plug, Love After Lockup, right? I know what I'm getting into when I watch my trash television, my 90 Day Fiance. I know what I'm getting into. but I had an expectancy for Lifetime to just bring me some of the bliss around marriage and the success around marriage. But I agree with you. The more they present these couples, it just feels very production heavy. And it feels like they have handpicked people that are not at all ready for the reality of marriage and what marriage takes. So I'll let you dive into it because I know you've got synopsis around that. But I agree with you. This is not what I come for.
Because even season 12, when they were saying the reason why they put these people together, it's like I can see it a little bit, but it's like it's too much opposites attract y'all trying to make happen. And y'all going too opposite of the spectrum. I mean, y'all going a little too far. Let's have some common interest somewhere. Let's have some, you know what I'm saying? A little more
values, something. Yeah. Jamal, what do you think? I'd love to see in the chat what you think about season 13. I know Tasha's going to go through it. There's a lot to discuss. 3 hours.
3 hours. I almost fell asleep. I'm not gonna lie. So we're gonna get into. I'm not gonna lie. I laid down after a while, and I was like, you know what? If I make it, I make it. If I don't, I don't. Because at this point, why are you dragging it?
Right. Sure.
So we're gonna talk about season 13, and then we're gonna get into the future of this this whole thing.
Yeah.
They definitely need better vetting questions. Shimon, you were just saying that yesterday. So we'll talk about we'll talk about the show we'll do it by how the people that they put on the screen first. We'll go couple by couple. We'll do couples and talk about their thing. We did get one wedding yesterday, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And but I guess they'll probably break up the rest of the 4 weddings into 2 whole episodes again, like they did last time. Like, come on, y'all. And apparently they did the matchmaking episode last week. But how y'all gonna advertise for the show to start on the 21st and have a whole show the week before?
I don't know what they're doing there.
What are y'all doing?
It's a lot of scrambled eggs going on for me. But 3 hours was still plenty. I didn't catch last week's. I caught last night's, and that was still sufficient. I don't even need whatever they did the week before. Yeah.
So last week, I'm sure it was just going deeper into the people, and then telling them that they got matched, because this particular episode we didn't see them get matched.
Yeah.
But anyway, season 13 is in Houston, Texas. Like I said, the way that they marketed this season was, oh, you thought it was drama last season. Well, everything's bigger in Texas.
I didn't come for this.
I don't want this drama. I don't want this.
Get me out of here.
Wow. So let's start with the people that they started with. They started with Marla and Gil. Marla is 34. Gil is 35. Let me show you who these people are.
Mm-hmm.
Marla, I'm gonna go out on a random limb and say she's Puerto Rican. They didn't share which Latin country she's from, but when Dr. Cal was talking about why they matched them, he was like, they come from similar backgrounds, blah blah blah. And I was like, similar backgrounds? Hey, he black, but he is also no, seriously, because we had talked about it before the show started, and you was like interracial stuff, but apparently, I mean, it is, but it is what it is. Okay, he is full-blooded Colombian. Clearly, his father is African. You could tell his father is lineage is African. They showed pictures of his dad on there. And you could tell he black. His whole family was really, but he's born and raised in Colombia.
Yeah.
I don't know actually if he was born and raised there, but his parents are both Colombian.
He did use the term full, right? So
yes, he did say
interpret that as being born and raised. I get it. Yeah.
And she is Latina. Her accent is giving me Puerto Rican. That's why I'm saying that, but I do not know for sure. But they are both of Hispanic origin. Okay. So he's 35, she's 34. I'm gonna take an aside and say everybody on this show except for one person is in their 30s, which is a first. This is probably the oldest set of couples, which you would think would make them more ready for this, because it's like I'm kind of on my okay, you're not on your last leg if you're in your 30s. I'm in my 30s. I don't feel like I'm on my last leg, but it's like I didn't mean it for it to come out like that.
Let me on the show quick.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting a little older.
Yeah.
Let's try it out. As opposed to people in their early 20s. It's like, come on, y'all had plenty of life to live. Just go out to the bar.
Yeah.
So Marilyn and Gil, let me get my notes because Siobhan, you have way more notes than I have. I'm not gonna lie. I saw your notes. You got way more notes than me. So I'll start off with saying, because they started off with Gil. He fine. Okay, that man is fine.
Yes. Yeah.
He loves salsa, you know what I'm saying? Get that from the Colombian side. He's a firefighter out here saving lives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, seems to have a great personality. Hi, One. How are you?
Hey.
Yeah, he's got his life together. All he needs is a wife. He grew up poor. Actually, everybody on this season grew up poor. I don't know if you noticed that.
Let me clarify why I'm laughing at that, because that's not funny. But it's not funny how they grew up. It was funny because everyone repeated that story.
Got it out the mud.
Repeated that story, and it was like, what?
What's going on in Texas?
What is going on? But that's why I'm laughing, not because I don't want anybody to be in a
no, it's not funny, but it was just like that's the story that everybody had.
Yeah,
the only person I feel like didn't have that story was Zach. He's like, no, I come from a 2-parent household. We was living good. Everyone else though, poor. Okay.
And they were like, some people were like, I'm from the hood. Some people were like, I was
homeless.
I was in a trailer. Yeah, you're like, oh my God. Wow, you guys have come a long way. Yeah.
Everybody origin story.
Congrats for everybody on the show who made a way out of no way. That was amazing.
So he grew up poor, Colombia. She grew up poor. So those are the only notes I had on him for the moment. So Mirla is, you see her, she's 35. She's bougie, self-proclaimed bougie. She said, she lived this lifestyle now because she never was able to live it before because she was poor. And so now she's all about the lashes and the Botox and the hair got to be done and the outfits got to be flying, the bags and this and that. Yes. Living in a dilapidated trailer.
Exactly. Yes. Jamal still on the transcripts.
Yes. So she's bougie, right? So she's talking to her friends. So, of course they go to tell their friends and their family that, well, both of them went to go tell their friends that they got matched. Gil got other fine friends. Yeah. Merla only hangs out with Black people. Okay. Yeah. She don't got no Spanish friends. Okay. All her friends is Black. Right. And they're, asking her questions or whatever. They're kind of telling her like, girl, you a little too bougie. You extra high maintenance. What if he's not ready to support that kind of lifestyle? She was like, well, I'm not changing my lifestyle for nobody. And she's firm on that. She's like, I don't care what he got going on. My lifestyle is not going down ever. Not that I feel like he would make her lifestyle go down, but that she was just very adamant about that. She was also very adamant about the looks that she was preferring, and her husband, not even preferring, very adamant, insisting on her husband cannot be bald-headed because being bald is a distraction. Everybody look at this screen right here. This man is bald.
Bald. Either by choice or not. He is bald.
Also must be bearded. Let's look at this man here.
That was on her list.
No beard because he's a firefighter. He cannot do that. So, but Gil is fine. Gil is fine though. So I don't know.
So tell me what you thought, because there was a moment where Pastor Cal admitted, or one of the experts admitted, yes, he is bald, but. So what did that trigger for you, or what did you think of when you heard that?
he said that she doesn't want a bald man, but she's being superficial about that, which she is, and that his personality is what's important, and it would match hers. Funny enough, I don't think that's true. I don't think his personality is going to match hers. As we go along in the episode, the men go to their bachelor party, the women go to their bachelorette party, and Gil is having the time. He is the life of the party, okay, having fun. Yes. At the bachelorette party, Marla was sitting in a corner. She was so judgmental. She was the wet blanket of the entire group. They're just literally having fun.
Way to phrase it.
Dancing and stuff. She's like, no, I don't do all of that. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to be married. Like, I want to skip all this stuff. I just want to be married. Like, I don't want to do all of that. And then she's talking about the other girls to her friends and stuff. It's just like, why are you don't even know these people. Why do you have to judge them?
Yeah.
What, like,
we'd love to know what you thought about Marla and Gil as well. I think the same for me, Tasha. I saw it and I was like, gosh, the experts are playing this wide and loose with this couple because his temperament is so fun. And I wrote beside his name, I kind of like tried to jot, Tasha's right. I did jot notes because I was like, ugh, this is going to be a process. I think I wrote down beside his name, relaxed jeans, because that's what he reminds me of. Just Levi's relaxed jeans. He's in this for a good time. I agree with you. I think that he is so handsome, and I was totally in the screen trying to look at his friends too. Like
they look good. They look good.
I need you to zoom this way because I ain't catch that one with the like the mohawk thing, and I need you to zoom this way. There was somebody who was bald over here. Screen this way. But one of the things I think we laughed about yesterday is I was like, whoever is providing these Google struggle docs of like this questionnaire is, and I understand now they go through an extensive process, but that little questionnaire, it looked like they were filling out on Google Docs.
When's the last time you've been on a date?
Who cares? Are you kidding me? This is how people slip through the process with a child.
This
because
is Match.com.
Sharing a link.
This is Match.com. This is the survey from.
I think they're putting way too much gumption on their ability to work through it, and they're not giving them enough of the baseline. I mean, even if she's able to admit through this, like, okay, I was wrong about him having to have hair and have beard and all that. I was wrong about all of that, but it's interesting. One Hannah, that's a good question. I didn't watch the matchmaking episode, so I don't know what his type is.
Didn't watch the matchmaking episode, but during the two different parties, he said, you know, what do you think your wife? Somebody said, what do you think your wife would be doing right now? He's like, my wife, if they match me right, she'd be the life of the party.
Yeah, couldn't be further from the truth. Your wife has had one Chardonnay and she's still sipping on it.
And she didn't even want to be there. She didn't want to be there. Yeah. She didn't want, like, it was, her whole energy was like, ugh.
Yeah. I definitely wrote down that she is hyper EOLC. She is the EOLC president. She takes things very seriously as EOLC president. She is probably instituting bylaws and a constitution for us all. She's very controlling. I know she said she's bougie. I don't think she's bougie. I think she's controlling.
I think she's also bougie.
I think she's controlling.
When it comes to the clothes and all that, like, I mean, she's bougie about her look. Like, she's, you know what I'm saying? She has a lot, like, she's like, I need the lashes. I need the outfit. I need the hair. I need the makeup. I need the, and she's like, she does her skincare. She's like, no, I take care of myself very, very well. It's very, very important to me, which can be considered bougie to people. Yeah,
I think we're bougie.
I'm not bougie.
I don't think we're controlling. But
she's also controlling.
Oh, yeah.
Two things can be true. She's both of them. Jamal said she always seems to be. She always seems to be wet blanket. Her friend said she doesn't compromise. The Bachelorette said her husband would need to be patient, and you should never have everybody talking about you like that.
Agreed.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have to be patient. I think Dr. Cal said the same thing. Like, her husband would have to be patient. I don't know if he is. There's also something. There's two more things I want to mention about them, and maybe if you have more notes, you can too. One of the things was, we talked about it last night. She wants to be married so bad, but she's about to marry a firefighter.
Ugh.
So if you want to expound on that.
Yeah, I mean, like, one of the things, that's a great point. So one of the things that concern me about what he's doing, yes, very selfless, public servant, giving himself to his community. But you're talking about 22 hours a shift from home. And what was interesting is when we watched, she said that she likes to take her Instagram photos and have her Instagram boyfriend and have this portrayal on social media as well. But he mentioned that he doesn't like the lifestyle of those IG models.
You don't
And
like.
that is not
He
at
did
all.
say that. Oh
And that's
yes,
not
he
at
did
all
say
what he's
that.
looking at. And so again, this is one of those moments where I just think it's kind of reckless of whomever to pair people who are on two different ends of the spectrum in terms of what they want out of their partner. So it's going to be important for them to talk expectations. I think that 22 hours from home, my father was in fire department. And so it is very, very demanding. He actually, and it's there's a lot of panic attached to that because
yes,
you don't have days off. My father's birthday is 9/11. And so on September 11th, when we're trying to call him and say happy birthday, the world is, our world in the United States is crashing. And so it's a very demanding role, very noble, very honorable, but your loved ones got to know what they're getting into as well. And that kind of sacrifice is difficult. And I fear, kind of like what you were mentioning, I fear that for people in their 30s who are used to having things a certain way, those challenges become even greater hurdles.
and you can tell that she's not like. I mean, she has she has her little thing that she likes to do, but she's like, no, I want to do stuff with somebody now. That's what she wants, is someone to be with her, to go do things and live the life, her bougie lifestyle with her. Yeah. He's not going to be there. He's not going to be there, point blank.
Yeah, I agree.
And so listen, spoiler alert, I don't feel like none of these people are going to make it, okay?
Spoiler alert.
I was going to do my predictions at the end, but look, I don't think nobody going to make it. So then the other thing I wanted to mention about this, she literally said she is not going to change my lifestyle, period. Yeah, period. That's what she said. I'm like, I'm not changing my lifestyle. And it's like, ew.
Girl, do you want this?
Hi, Lee Pepper. Yeah, we just talked about that he's bald. Like, yeah. We literally just talked about that. I don't know. So we're going to get more into that right now. But first of all, welcome, Lee Pepper. It's my first time seeing your name. Welcome to our stream. But the other thing I wanted to mention about them was, so the ladies are meeting, the men are meeting. They're like, are you going to kiss your husband at the altar?
Oh, yeah, this is good.
She's like, everybody's like, yeah, of course. Like, yeah, she's like, like, no. Why? Like, she's like, we got to move slow. This man is like, yeah, tongue, everything, we in there.
He literally was like, tongue her down. Yeah, one hand on mine. She's uptight for sure.
A bit.
For sure.
So the combination of, I didn't want a bald man, I wanted a man with a beard, and I didn't want to kiss him if he had hair or a beard. Now, I definitely don't want to kiss him because it's not even what I asked for.
Yeah.
So I am very, very, very curious. And I wasn't gonna watch next week, but I'm gonna have to watch next week. I have to just watch this ceremony because I need to know what's going to happen when she walks down the aisle.
Tasha, are they roping you back in slowly, like each episode? I mean, this is time consuming to be able to give 2 or 3 hours to a television show. It's
3
a lot.
hours.
Yeah, it's a lot. But I'm interested in seeing what happens with them, what transpires, because that looks like an obvious recipe for disaster. That is a Disney delusion if I've ever seen one.
And it's like, it seems to me like, girl, what? Not that, so I don't want to be judgmental of her being judgmental, but it's like, who are you trying to impress with this? No, I wouldn't kiss him at the altar. It's your husband now, sis. It would be okay. But to say, no, we have to take it slow, like, I don't know. It's not even
married at first sight. How can you take it slow?
And it's not even like what she's saying is super wrong. It's just like the way she's saying the things. It's like, why are you giving this energy out?
Yeah.
Why are you giving? Even look at them in this picture. Look how far. Look at all this space in between them. This is another couple standing in between them.
I am here for your body language diagnosis. I am.
She's not even. Look at her. Look at her body, right? Her body is tilted away from his. She's not even straight forward. She's like, when you're like have some type of interest, like usually your feet are toward, even if your body's not turned towards somebody, your feet may be turned toward them because you're like still kind of in what's going on.
Yeah.
Sis is ready to run.
Yeah. It looks like it.
Oh man.
Yeah, she did get Lee Pepper. She did get tall and dark.
She got a bald head, which she said will be way too distracted for her.
Yeah. So this couple taught me a lot about
distracting.
The difference between ethnicity, nationality, and race. Mm-hmm. So his race is still that he's Black.
Yes,
his ethnicity is that he's Colombian, and then his nationality is American. So I guess that's what, they're still an interracial couple, regardless if they're both Latina or not.
Yeah. Yeah, he's Black.
We didn't know he was Colombian by,
just looking at him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, he's not even going to be there most of the time to be giving his patients. So you're going like,
that's true.
She's going to have to be self-sufficient in a way that she's probably not planned to.
That's it, Tasha. That's it.
So I don't know. I don't know. She gonna have to because he's so fun. And if she doesn't lighten up, he's not gonna be trying to pull her out of her shell. He's gonna be like, girl, if you don't want to do this, fine. Like
8 weeks.
This is an attractive man. She is Colombian? Okay. Colombian? I didn't know where she was from. I was guessing Puerto Rican. But okay. Cool.
Got it. All right. So now we know what the experts were going off of.
Yeah, that's cool. So I wonder maybe they'll, hopefully she likes to dance. If he tries to dance also with her and she got attitude, I'm going to be pissed. I just want to throw that out there right now.
You go slide in his DMs, Tasha?
I don't look.
Hey, boo, when you divorce, talk to me.
I mean, no, they're not together now. They got married on January 31st. So by this time, they are either married or they are divorced. We just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah, we don't know. Interesting. All right.
That was Marla and Gil. Let's go somewhere else. The second people who was on there. Okay, were Michaela and hold on before I pull them up. Does she dance? She didn't seem to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She doesn't seem. I can't tell what her personality is at all.
Who knows?
Yeah, no idea.
Where did you come, girl? Ugh. Stay home.
She's like, I ain't coming to make friends. I just can't be married. So, which okay, hey, I understand. Let's go, Michaela and Zach.
This is my favorite couple so far.
Well, she's my favorite person on the season, next to Bao. But let's move here. Lee
Pepper, who are you giving 25% to? Marla and Gil?
Wait, where are they at? Oh, here they go.
Right there. Yeah.
Michaela and Zach. Michaela, the ball of sunshine.
She is such a party girl. I love her.
They showed Zach first. I'm gonna do Zach first. Zach is the baby of the season. The only person not in their 30s. I'm gonna call him the baby. DABABY. And he's also fine. He's a hopeless romantic, like hopeless romantic to the core. Matter of fact, everybody on this season is a hopeless romantic. Everybody is poor and a hopeless romantic. I don't know if the two correlate. When you grow up poor, you a hopeless romantic. I don't know what it is. But you know what? You know what's also crazy? Not crazy. But a lot of people are hopeless romantics, and most of these people's parents are still married and in love.
That's true.
So that's a part of it. Everybody who said that they were hopeless romantic, multiple people said that they are into The Notebook and all this other stuff. All of their parents are locked in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Jamal, when Merla said that, I was just like, ugh. She's like, enjoy the process. It's okay to just enjoy the process. But so Zach, hopeless romantic, he fine, but he feel a little wet behind the ears for me. He's giving me naive when it comes to this love thing.
I wanted to ask you, does he give you Vincent vibes?
No.
Because he gives me Vincent vibes. He gives me
in the way that he just wanted to be a father and a husband. Is that what you're saying?
No, I think it triggered for me that in tune that we were talking about, like Vincent is, or like how he can be super sensitive. This is my prediction. This is gonna be the guy that's gonna be thoughtful.
The Vincent of the season.
Yeah, he's the Vincent of the season. He's gonna be.
I can see what you're saying.
His gestures are gonna be real romantic. I can see what you're saying. Yeah.
I can see what you're saying. But so far, no one. Oh, even Miles. Even Miles.
We love some Miles.
Even Miles-ish.
We're big Miles fans.
You.
And when I say we, I mean me.
What was I about to say? No one has lived up. He has like ideal expectations of what he wants in a woman. No one has ever lived up to them.
He's never been in love.
Like, most people haven't actually been in love. You know, you think you have, but then you realize what was actually happening. You haven't really been in love. Most people haven't. But if the reason why no one has lived up to your expectations, or the reason why none of your relationships have been successful, is because no one has lived up to your ideal. No one's gonna live up to your ideal, sir. You gotta take the compromises a little bit here and there. So I don't know. Before I get there.
Do you think his mom plays a part in that, Tasha?
And the ideal expectations? Maybe, because he's looking up to his parents. I mean, he adores his parents. He adores them. He adores what they think, especially, and he was looking for validation from them.
Yes,
he adores his parents. So I can absolutely see that. But I don't believe because he said to his parents, he literally said, "I'm ready to be married," and his dad laughed out loud. He said, he literally laughed. He's like, "Well, you don't know what it takes to be married." So just like we see, you know what I'm saying? I can see him seeing his parents living this beautiful life together, but they might not be showing you in front of, they're behind the scenes working out their issues. They're not bringing that in front of their children, right? I can see where that may be the disconnect for him, because he's thinking, oh, it worked this way if this isn't this, but it's like, boy, you don't know what's going on.
I know, but there was something in me that was just like, oh, Dad, don't pop this bubble for us. Like, we're happy, blissful in this moment of like, I will be a father and I will be a great husband. And Dad comes in and he's like, boop, boy, you ain't never been in love. You don't know what you're talking about. Dad felt very overpowering for me. And I know we'll get to it when we talk about the other couples and their circles. This circle didn't feel like it really supported him. And for me, it felt like I wish somebody had been there at the circle that was like, I'm happy for you. This is going to be an exciting journey. You know what I mean? I think his
brothers are probably that for him.
I hope so.
But what's it's not. I keep saying what's funny, but I kind of feel the way his parents do. Like nothing that he said.
Right.
It was showing me or giving me the impression that he actually knows what marriage is about.
Yeah.
That he actually knows what's going into it. That he actually, I don't even feel like his life is like, I wasn't getting the stability message that I was getting from other people. I wasn't getting I've accomplished this, I've accomplished that, I've done these things, now I'm ready for. His thing was just like, I just want a wife and kids. I just want them now. I don't want to wait no more. I want my wife and kids.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He definitely said he felt as though he was the odd man out.
Because everybody was in a relationship except for him.
Everybody's in a relationship. He seemed like he's still very tentative. Like he doesn't really know his voice. He's still feeling his way out. I agree with you. He gave very nervous energy.
Yes.
Right. And I think Jamal has said like his brothers supported him, which I'm happy for. I wanted that for him. Maybe I'm always looking for like where we encourage our own people because so often it just doesn't happen. We kind of give each other the authentic realness. And I don't know that we applaud people enough and say, you know what, other people have been less prepared. You can do it too. Like,
but I mean, but this is obviously even a hi,
Kendra.
Kenny. This is Kendra, because she was on the boat with us.
Oh, hi, Kenny.
This is season 13.
Yeah.
It just started yesterday. So so the other thing is that, he was like, so I understand needing to have, why is this happening? Okay. Needing to have more support from our people. But this is, most people don't agree with this show's concept already. So this is not really especially if they don't think you're ready for marriage. It's not like, oh, I met this girl and we're about to go get married in 3 months. Okay, I've seen you with her. I've kind of met this person. I'm not sure if you're ready for that, but you know what? If you like it, I love it. I'll be here for you. This is
Kenny, don't go anywhere. There's no spoiler alert. There's no spoilers in this. These are just, we're just
going. This is just what anywhere. Nothing happened. They just showed us the people.
Yeah,
and I'm just saying how I felt about them. But it was, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, okay, if I'm seeing you with this person seems to have a good foundation. You know what? I don't think you're ready for that, but I'll be there beside you if you guys feel like you had to go get married. This is you getting married, and we never met them. This could be a serial killer, and you doing what, sir? What are you talking about? You know what I mean? It's different. I mean, you gotta give people some grace, okay? Like, they probably want to be supported, but it's just like, what are you doing?
That's exactly where Black parents go. They're like, you gonna marry a serial killer? Well, don't come calling and knocking at my door when they kill you and you.
Because my parents wouldn't agree with me doing this. Before my dad passed, I was showing him what it was like. Season 11 was beginning, and I was like watching the first couple episodes with him, and he was like, "Oh, he ain't gonna like her." He was like saying stuff, and I was like, "What do you think if I did this?" Right. He was like, "This is stupid." Like, so, like, people are, you gotta roll with it.
Yeah.
But they agreed to be filmed. They agreed to go with the process. I'm sure they're gonna come around and whatever. And just like Lee, I was about to call you Dr. Pepper.
No, right?
You an expert now.
Right.
I was about to say, just like Lee said, I think his mom's gonna like her. He asked his mom, what woman would you envision for me? Oh. And that's when she started crying.
That part.
So, and that was super emotional.
Yeah.
She started tearing up because, obviously this is not the ideal for any parent for their child. Of course you want to kind of see their journey with somebody, you want to see the whole thing. And this is like, boy, what are you doing? She's tearing up. Then, he loves his mother so much. He's tearing up.
I started tearing up. I know what we were crying about.
Nobody wants to see their mama crying. You know what I'm saying? And it's your fault she crying. You know what I'm saying? It's the whole thing.
I'm like, what are we upset about? What are we crying for?
I think it's one thing if your parents don't get it, but if your friends say you're not ready, we may want to dive deep on that. Sure.
100%,
yeah.
100%.
And I don't think we met his brothers. We met one of his friends or something when he was doing tuck shopping. But they were just, they were there to support him. They didn't, they were like, are you really going to go through with this? Of course, everyone thinks this is crazy.
Yeah.
But, they were still there for him. It's not like he had to go through it alone. So let's get to Michaela. Michaela is emotional, okay? Sis cries in every scene. She has pockets in all her dresses with tissue in them because she's crying in every scene. Every scene.
Yeah.
She's like, "Hi, I'm Michaela." Like, so But anyway, she allegedly she's stubborn. She said herself, and then her sisters also said that she was very, very stubborn. And she tried to say she wasn't. And everybody looked at each other like, "Are you crazy?" Yes, you are. She was explaining that she's had a great example of love from her father, and he was basically her superhero. He passed away, so she also has this ideal of what a husband, right, a husband and a father should look like, because her dad was an amazing one to her.
That's so important.
She also grew up poor, had to be homeless she's from the hood.
Yeah.
Now she has worked herself up to this different level in life. Very proud of her accomplishments. Doesn't want to go back.
She's a realtor, right?
I can't remember.
I think she's in realty.
Okay. One thing I loved about her scenes was the Black sisterhood. Like, it made my heart smile. Like, when they were all around that little campfire, she was like telling them about it, and like just their laughs and it was just like, I was like, oh, Black sister, this is beautiful. I just loved it.
Yeah.
Like, I literally had that emoji with the hearts around the face on my notes. Like, it was
just like that's what they look like to you.
Even with the when they went dress shopping, it was just like, I love this.
Yeah.
Her mom was crying. She was crying again, of course. But you can just tell she's very sure of herself. She has I don't want to say a strong personality, but she just has a sure personality. She's confident. She, you know what I'm saying? She just knows who she is. And you can tell that she's very loved and supported by her family. And I love that about her. She's the life of the party.
Yeah.
At the bachelorette party, she was living it up. She was living it up at the bachelorette party. She was having the most fun out of everyone. She's like, what? Screaming and everything, dropping it down, twerking, throwing it back, like all the things. And she was like, look, I'm gonna have me a good time, okay? Yes. She had a ball, and it was so fun to watch. Merla was giving her the side eye, which was like, girl, go have some fun.
And she didn't let Marla's energy like affect her, right? Because some people can get pulled into that and then be like, why is that girl like mean mugging me from across the room? But she didn't even get wrapped up in it. She was just like,
I love that too.
Have a good time.
Yes. And she was like, she was like, like, I don't even know how I got chosen for this thing, because she was like, because look, she was like, I don't even know what kind of guy I match with, because I'm looking at all these people and I'm nothing like any of the other women that got matched. And she was like, I wonder who my husband's going to be, because I'm myself. She basically said, I'm myself unapologetically, and I'm not going to apologize for that. I really, really like her. And she's not getting overbearing either about it. She's just herself.
Yeah.
And she's being very genuine.
Yeah. Her authenticity is like so attractive.
And it's shining through even in this photo.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I love her. I don't see her as, I don't know if I'm just coming to her defense early. She is very much the Virginia for me. I may be just coming to her defense early. I don't think she's stubborn. I think the word they were probably looking for was persistent, right? Which goes hand in hand with her job. I think that she persists on an issue, persists on what she wants.
You don't know that yet.
I don't. I'm guessing. That's why I said, this is my Virginia. This is my Virginia. I love her.
I thought you were talking about her drinking. I'm like, nah, I don't think she's that.
No. But see, I didn't have a problem with Virginia's drinking. I thought Virginia was just young, but I think that they're both authentically her. I'm hopeful that she can hold on to herself throughout this process, because we saw last season a lot of women got washed away in the process of this their relationships. So
what I feel about this particular relationship is that anything, Zach's going to lose himself, because I don't think he fully knows himself. And Michaela seems like somebody who, if she has boundaries, she's going to state what they are. She's going to what's the word when you hold up your boundaries? Uphold them. She's going to uphold them. Yeah. And if anything, he's going to be the one that is like compromising to the point where it's not benefiting him. I can see him trying to over please. He was even doing that in the conversation with the men. Not that he was trying to please them, but he was like, trying to jump in and like giving them the floor, and like I can see her in a way running over him.
Yeah.
And he's younger and she's older too. Like I can just see that being what the issue is here. Because I can see her standing her ground and he wouldn't stand his ground.
I think if she is open and honest with her older sisters, they might teach her a thing or two about submission.
But he also would have to step up to that too.
Yeah,
but you can't just say, I can't just decide that that's what I'm gonna do, and you never give me, you don't bring that to me to, you know what I'm saying?
Well, what I'm saying is, like, if she notices, right, that maybe he's not as communicative or he's not as expressive, if she takes that to her sisters might be the one, because one of her sisters is in a racial relationship. So they might be able to say, listen, you've got to dial down a bit so that you give room for your partner to speak and express himself, if that's a challenge for them. We don't even know, right? But hey, Mike. But I think that her sisters and their wisdom and their relationship is going to play a big part in who she is in this marriage. Sure. I hope that Zach can step up. I think it was the only interesting point I'll raise on this couple that I noticed is that they both said they've never been in love. That made me feel kind of crazy, because I think at least by 30, I had been in love once or twice. So it's going to be interesting to see how they love, because they've got to talk to each other about what love looks like to the other person, right? You can't just assume everybody's definition of love is the same. And so with both of them not being in love before, they got to talk and express, like, this is what love looks like. This is my love languages. This is what I'm expecting of you. Because if they don't, they may be looking at two different lenses, and that could be conflicting. But that's interesting that the two of them have never been in love. I'm hoping for them. I'm rooting for this couple.
I think they look great together. It would be great if they make it to the end. I personally don't think they will. Like I said, I don't think anybody's gonna make it. If anybody makes it, it's this next couple.
Give and take for sure.
Mike, what are you doing? Mike. Before we move on, I just want to say that a lot of the EOLC met each other a couple weeks ago. I had my birthday party, and a lot of people who watched, I invited them, and we had a great time. Dr. Siobhan got to meet Mike and Veronica and Danielle and Camden, and we had a blast. Kendra was there too. Yeah, it was so much fun. Gabby was there. Gabby would be on the stream too sometimes. Yeah. We had so much fun, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. We had a great time.
Yeah.
So if anybody makes it, like I said, it's going to be, let me change it on here before I bring it up. I think it's going to be Bao and Johnny. If anybody makes it, it's going to be.
Wow, look at their picture.
Gorgeous.
Wow.
This is where I think we're going to have success, if we have any. But who are we going to start with? Let me get to my notes.
Yeah, let's start with Lee Pepper. I'm with you. I like Bao as well. And I like Virginia. And
I wasn't a big fan of Virginia, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, you already know. There's receipts. Right. You think, okay, yeah, I think so too. So it's not gonna sound like I think that, because the notes I took, I didn't. So okay, let me just preface what I'm saying. I didn't believe they was gonna make it until this wedding. Okay. So Bao and Johnny are both Vietnamese. Johnny, let's start with Johnny. They started with Johnny. Johnny is extremely picky. He also basically wants to be pursued by a woman. He wants a woman to be the one. He wants the woman to be the one who's all over him, who calls him all the time, who tells him, I love you first, who he basically wants to be pursued. And there's a reason behind that we'll get to. He has a very strict father, which is crazy because his father divorced his mom and left them. And he still looks up to his father, even though him and his father don't even have a good relationship, or that not a close relationship. I won't say it's bad or good. It's just not close. But his father is still apparently this very strong voice in his life, even though they're not even close, which is probably very cultural. He seems to be pretty fun. You can tell he has a personality, a very camera ready personality. Honestly, if I can be honest, and I don't know. It's just like he wants to be married. He said he's been on a number of dates and stuff like that, and he just he goes through them because he's really picky. Bao is also very picky. She said that, she'll date someone and it'd be cool, but then she'll think there could be better out there, right? So she's on that grass is greener mentality. Why are you laughing? That's what she said.
No,
she said I always think it could be better.
Yeah, she's very calculated. That's what she said.
Oh, before I go on, Johnny told his friends, and they were very supportive of him. And Bao told her brothers, and she was very nervous to tell them. It just felt like this whole storyline here was giving me culture, okay? And I was in it. If I watch this season, it's for them alone and all of the culture that they are bringing. Like, you just get a glimpse into. It felt like Crazy Rich Asians. I'm not gonna lie. It felt like they are operating on a different plane. They're operating on a different plane than modern Americans, okay?
Yeah.
So she was telling her brothers, was like, okay, sis. Even her about it. She was kind of like, I don't know. I'm here, but I don't know.
Right.
Her whole face was like, I mean, I hope it works out. I don't know. And she also grew up poor. Just like everyone else.
Everyone on the storyline.
There was no excitement for her at all in this. So they were both extremely picky and extremely particular. They are the same person. She used Excel spreadsheets for everything. Yes, she made a spreadsheet weighing the value of a relationship. I'm not sure if I'm completely on board with her yet, but the nerdy bee loves that. I really love Bao. Her quirkiness, she's very, very awkward. Like every time she looked at the camera, she's like, I'm so awkward. Like you could just tell that she's being herself, and and it's really endearing, and I really like her. I don't want to say as a character because she's not a character, but she's giving me something different that I've never gotten on this show, and I like her for it. She used Excel spreadsheets to make bread. She's very calculated. They're both very calculated. I mean, they are the same person. They are. So they're the only wedding that we got to see. Yes, the Asian community is all about their elders and stuff. And Johnny did say that. So that's why he was saying it was super important for his father to even approve it. He actually wasn't going to tell his father at first because he knew he wouldn't approve of this because this is way outside of the realm of anything that they would do. But he ended up calling his dad. His dad was so against all of it. He didn't even agree for his audio to be shown on the show. Like he's like he didn't agree to be filmed at all. Like we couldn't even hear what he said. Even in Asian, they didn't even let us hear what he was saying in Vietnamese. They were just like silence.
He was like, stop it.
Yikes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man. And then you could just see Johnny crying. He was very down about it. Obviously, he still has to go through with it because he signed a contract. But
Yeah.
Yeah, his father was so far like against it. Jamal, you're saying I like her quirkiness too, but she may be too in her head. She borderline called up her. Okay, yeah, let's get into it. So this is the only.
Before we go there, can I ask you, what role does his father's approval play in his life with respect to how he expects women to kind of seek him out or make the first move?
I don't even think it's just about his father. It's about his whole dynamic growing up. He said the I love yous wasn't thrown around at all, ever. He never got hugs from his mother. I think this is more of a mother issue than a father issue. If anything, he wants some kind of validation from he wants the validation that he never got as a child. His father left them.
Yeah.
Where his mom left them. That could feel like abandonment to somebody, right? Yeah. Then your mother doesn't show you any affection.
Yeah.
So it's like, no one ever gives me this. The person that I choose, I need that from them. And it's crazy because it's like the thing that you want most, like a lot of times the thing that you want most and need, what you think you need most from a partner, they can't give that to you. Not the right one for you. They're not gonna be able to give that to you. You're gonna have to find a way to give that to yourself, and then they can support that. It's not gonna work up the other way.
That's a word. Yeah. So the results of when people are typically OCD, and I don't use that term lightly, he used it to describe himself, but typically that is a symptom of someone who has abandonment issues because they lost control of something earlier in life. And so they are trying to recoup that control or the feel that they have control by managing everything else and micromanaging everything else. So I thought that was interesting. He's still seeking approval from dad, but it doesn't weigh that heavily on. It didn't outweigh his desire to still get married.
I think he signed a contract.
That was interesting. Yeah, it could have been the contract. Well, I don't know. I just think that that's curious, and his dad would be really excited about Bao. Like, she's a great catch.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Because we'll get into that. So let's go back. Let's go to they're getting ready for the wedding.
Yeah,
they end up choosing the color red because it's lucky in their culture, which ends up being gorgeous for their entire wedding. These people's wedding was beautiful. All of the decorations, the flowers, and the stands lined up down the aisle. Their flower wreaths circled behind the
wedding. Yeah. Now we know.
Oh man, it felt so warm. It felt so classy. Like I loved this wedding. Bao looked beautiful at first. I wasn't sure because when she went to try on the dress, I was like, When she came out and her makeup was done and her hair was done and stuff, I was like, oh, she looks gorgeous. And then the addition of her little shawl was giving me classy Asian. I'm telling you, it was just like, I am in this. I love it.
We had heart eyes the whole time.
Yes. It felt so timeless. Like their wedding pictures. This is the tea. I think this is from the tea ceremony. But their wedding pictures, it's like something that like their grandkids will look at and be like, wow, still. Like it was like modern enough, but still like felt like their culture. Anyway, so Bao, wanted what she wanted. Johnny, I don't actually know what he wanted other than somebody who was clingy. But so they're getting ready for the wedding. They both sent each other gifts, which was great. Right. She sends him a gift. He opens it. He opens the card, and the card says "with sympathy." Like it's hilarious. She's super awkward. She's super awkward, and like she's unique, and obviously has a unique sense of humor. He loved that. He was laughing. Yeah. Inside the card was like, "I hope you have love and support to get you through this hard time." The gift was super cute. Like he loved it. It showed her personality 100%. Johnny sends her 2 gifts, In his card, he mentioned something about I wrap these gifts in the 2 jerseys of these teams because I love sports. I hope you do too. And her energy deflates. She's like, he loves sports. Ugh. Sports? She's like, I didn't want a bro. Like I dated guys. How are you judging every man on this one thing, the sports thing? I've dated men who love sports before and it never worked. Like that's the thing that didn't make it work, sis.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
The liking of the sports was the thing that those are gonna make it work. And yeah, she said I work with some of the most brilliant minds in cancer research, and he gives me a sports jersey.
Yeah.
So this last line was the best part. Val was like, she was so pissed off at this point after looking at both gifts, but we don't even really know what the actual gifts were because she didn't want to show us. She didn't care. Once you saw them at the jerseys that they was wrapped in, a wrap. She was sitting there. It was giving me very much. What's that movie where she blowing up the car?
Waiting to exhale.
It was giving me very much Waiting to Exhale. She had a glass of whatever she was drinking, looking off into the distance.
Yes. That look into the distance. Oh my gosh.
She was like, how could they do this to me?
Right.
To me? She said, I wanted a brilliant mind. Nobel Prize. And this is what you guys give me?
Dividends.
She said, I hope this pays off. Dividends. Man, they said she was so far off in her own word. They said Val. She said, so we had to go downstairs. And she just said,
they're like, snap out of it. We need you to go and film.
She was not into it. Flashed before her eyes.
Yes, her whole life flashed before her eyes. But Tasha, I thought about this after, right? Because I was total agreement with you. I was like, oh yeah, that wasn't a great gift. But the way she gave them glares, side eyes, and she went off into a Tyler Perry movie, I could have done bad all by myself. But here's what's interesting. When I thought about it again today, I said, what if he had the same reaction to her joke?
Sure. He could have.
Yeah, because he could have. Because
it was very out of the box.
It was out of the box. It was unconventional. If you weren't there, you could really have looked at it 2 ways. One, she said, I'm writing this while I'm eating a cheeseburger. So like, how thoughtful is that, right?
Yes!
We thought it was funny, but like, how thoughtful is that? And then you got me a sympathy card, which means you bought this downstairs in the gift shop today, like yesterday.
Siobhan, that is an amazing point. That's an amazing point.
It was just interesting how he took very light of it and she took it very serious. And I said, oof, I don't know. That was
an amazing point. Because her just showing her personality could have been a complete turnoff. He could have been like, I wanted a brilliant mind. Nobel Prize.
With dividend, Nobel Prize.
Oh gosh, that's a great point, Siobhan. Oh my God, thank you so much for saying that. Yes, that could have completely backfired on her too. Wow. Yes.
So we'll see.
Right. Or that they're going to be allowed to handle. Exactly. Yeah. Wow. That was a great point. I do like her though. She's spicy. She is.
Agreed.
She was having a great time at the bachelorette party too.
Yes.
She was living it up. She was letting loose. And Merla, here go Merla. You see, I never thought she would act like that. Like,
I know. Oh, I felt like fighting. First of all, don't talk about Val getting on a stationary mechanical bull. Don't talk about my girl having fun on her bachelorette party. Are you kidding me?
Merla's gonna be the killjoy.
Girl, let me tell you, the comments are going to come for Merla. Anyway, she's going to get her justice. She's going to be the Chris of this season. You're going to get all that smoke. Because these people are too through with anything but love on Married at First Sight. We are already at the edge.
Yes.
Don't push us over the line.
So he's at the altar. She's taking forever because she's pissed.
Tyler Perry movie.
Yes, and so she finally comes down with her dad, gets to the front, looks at him, and is like, she says to her dad, well, she says to everybody because there's only 5 people. I know him. Which was so cute. It was like cute because it was like I know him, but it wasn't like a I know him. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't giving bad energy. It was just like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Like, how? Why? How? That it was given like very shock and awe, but not a mad shock and awe, which I really was happy about. I was really nervous about that.
Yes.
But it wasn't she wasn't angry about it. It was just like, how did this happen?
Right.
And he's looking at her like, oh shoot, like, okay, wow. So then they do their vows. Both of their vows were very beautiful. I loved his. So thoughtful. Clearly a brilliant mind.
Nobel Prize.
And she said her vows were in a poem style. She memorized them. She is a brilliant mind.
Yeah.
That they did that. That was fine. Siobhan, you kept pointing out how far apart they were standing.
That made me nervous. Yeah.
Yes, but they did the kiss. The kiss looked like a real kiss. It wasn't hesitant, which I was, happy about. I was very happy for them in this wedding. It seemed very hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed very hopeful. Afterward, they went out and took pictures. All of the anger that she displayed beforehand made me forget how awkward she was in the beginning. Yeah. Like, she's obviously very layered. This girl has layers.
That's a good word. Yeah.
And it made me forget that she was so awkward. So when it came out to the pictures, it was like, why is she acting like that? But it was like, oh no, she acts like this.
Yeah.
This is how she be acting.
I wasn't as hopeful during the wedding. I think you saw lights and stars and how beautiful it was. I was trying to watch her body language and what she was saying. I wasn't convinced until they had their one-on-one champagne toast. And then I was like, okay, they can make it. They can actually last. I could see them with kids in a year or two. This can work. But I was still tentative until they had that one-on-one and talked about how they knew each other.
Yes, because it was just like, okay, y'all know each other. I'm like, did they date before? Like, what is the connection? And so Johnny told us that back in college, he was the president of his Vietnamese Student Association. And at her college, she was the president of Vietnamese Student Association. And that's how they knew each other. They would go to events and they met and never actually dated or anything. They just know each other because of the circles.
Right.
And then when she talked about it, she expressed that. She basically said, she's attracted to him. Number one, she was like, he's smooth, this and that. She always saw him as like a ladies' man. She didn't say it in a negative way either.
Right. Yeah.
And
feel of her husband.
It was giving me vibes of like, I peeped him out, but I wasn't gonna do all that because clearly, he had all these girls going for him. So it's like I wasn't about to be about that life.
Right.
So they're sitting down and talking, and they're just talking about how surprised they were to see each other, and like, but then they're both like, I could see why we're matched already. Like we are twins. Yeah. And she's like, I can see this being good. Like, they were both very like, I'm down to see it play out if you are. Like, they both were down. Yeah. And I think that, like I said, if anybody makes it, it's them. I think because they're so similar and both Vietnamese, both know the culture, I think that they will play the roles that they know are a part of their culture, and that will really help them in this relationship. Yeah. Because she was saying that she wants a guy who was toned down or something to that effect. And he was saying something else, but I think they'll fall into their cultural roles faster than they'll fall into what they think they want. Like the clinginess, like he's not going to be worried about that as much as he's going to be wanting that same family structure that he's akin to. Mm-hmm. So I think it might be great. Right. Could you imagine meeting someone 10 years later and then this? Like,
wait, but didn't that happen? Who was on the show, on the finale show? And that happened to her 10 years later. Not, I kept saying her name wrong, but she was on your finale show. and she met her husband 10 years
Oh,
ago.
Jeree.
Jeree.
Oh, where is Jeree?
Yeah,
Oh.
Jeree. Jamal, you weren't here, but Jeree was on the show, and she talked about her love story with her husband and how they met when she was teenager, but legal. And then
They were
met
like, if we
on.
met, if we see each other again, then it's meant to be. It wasn't like 10. I don't think it was 10 years. Was it 10 years?
I think it was. I think it was like 9.
I think it was 10 years. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So yeah, it's wild.
It's wild. Small world.
But I mean, they both went to college next to each other. They live in the same city. I mean, they in the same thing. Yeah, but to both end up on the show is definitely crazy. Mm-hmm. And like I said, they're both very hopeful. They were both like, I told them that we had to do a tea ceremony. She was like, well, I told them we had to do a tea ceremony. They're like, oh, perfect. We're going to do the tea ceremony. So I guess that'll be next week. That's what this picture is from, their tea ceremony. Yeah. They're gorgeous. I mean, they're really giving me royalty.
Reese.
Hey, Reese.
Reese, hey.
Yes. So so he asked her if she had seen him on any of the dating sites. She's like, yeah, I see you. He was like, so what, you swipe left at me? She was like, no, I ain't swipe left. I just ain't swipe. I just ain't swipe left or right. You know what I'm saying? So she basically was like, kind of when you like know somebody, you don't really be trying to. I've seen people I know on dating apps, and I just be like, I just be scrolling. I'm like, okay, I see you. We all here together. So I get it, but it was funny.
I have not gotten on dating apps. That might have to be its own episode. I don't know. I haven't gotten on them yet.
That's interesting.
I'm scared that I'm scared because I run into creeps all the time in person. I guess I'm hesitant because I don't want to run into those people online too. I don't know.
I think a lot of it is like doing a mindset shift about what you actually attract. Because if you say I meet a lot of creeps all the time, your brain is gonna like filter for creeps as opposed to filtering for like people who aren't
high value men.
Sure. If that's the word you want to use. Just good men who aren't creeps. So yeah, Val and Johnny, I am here for it. If I end up watching the season, it's because of them. Because we're gonna talk about the future of what's going on in a second, okay? Let me just finish talking about these people. So that was Val and Johnny. Man, I felt so like a kid. Like I felt like a kid watching them. Like I was so into this love story.
No, I feel like a kid seeing this live. It is like a reunion all over again, seeing everybody.
Right.
Reese and Jamal and One Hanamai and the new people like Lee Pepper. Good to see you guys. Okay,
so let's go to Brett and Ryan. That's who was next on the screen. So you say you love her?
Yeah, I do. I like her. I like her girl circle a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's start with Ryan. Ryan is another hopeless romantic. Hold on, before we get into that, Reese, what'd you say? Reese said, people are people. If they're creeps without the apps, they'll be creeps on the apps. You just got to set up your own radars. This is true.
Yeah, EOLC. You already know.
So Ryan is another hopeless romantic. He loves The Notebook, loves romance, loves love so much. He's another one whose parents have been together for 85 years, who absolutely love each other, and he has dated like 50 women in the past 3 to 5 years, like 50 of them. They dated, not like went on a date, but dated like 50 women. So his family, is very much into, what was your flavor of the week or your flavor of the month. You know what I'm saying? It was like you're switching them out in and out. And you could tell he was, because he looks run down. My man has bags under his eyes. I wish I could zoom into this right now, because he had bags under his eyes in this photo, but I can't zoom in all the way.
Yeah.
He is tired. I don't even know what he does for work. Like I'm like, oh, maybe that's it. But that man looks tired. Okay. He is done looking for love. He wants to be married now. Yes. Like my man needs a good night's rest. Melatonin, something. Because he is tired. So he's telling his parents and his sister, that he got matched with someone. They are like, bro, what? Bro, what? His dad said, Lord.
when the parents start praying, when they go into prayer over your situation,
Lord. I was like, oh,
okay. Is that bad? Talk about
yeah. Wait, what? He said he dated 1,000 to 2,000 in Houston in the must be matchmaking episode.
Oh, at the matchmaking.
I'm not sure if that is an exaggeration, but I can see how that could say good song.
Jamal, do you remember when he was on the bike and he's like financially exhausting, and he was saying, I was like, wow,
he was like, there's some small towns I can't go to anymore because I'm like ranging the woman there. My goodness,
so funny. He was like, I can't go to a small town.
He was playing stepdaddy and all types of stuff or something because he is tired.
I've been through it.
So then he's telling them, his parents are like, why do you have to do this? His father said, why can't you just be a normal son?
A normal son. That was hurtful for me. That hurt my feelings.
That was very cringy. I put an emoji next to that note. It's a sad face. I was like, because he could tell that he didn't take that as a joke. He was like,
it's not a joke.
He was like, I'm not normal. Like, oh man.
That's hurtful, Dad. It's not the old days where like people had similar value. People are so diverse nowadays. You don't know what you're getting in this mosh pit of dating. It's a dumpster fire. Lee Pepper said that he's an oil engineer. Okay. So he got bread. Texas.
Maybe he works really long hours. Hi, So Loved.
Janelle.
Yes, my heart broke. My heart broke at that moment. I was like, yikes. Because his reaction, he was just like, I'm not normal.
Oh my God.
His dad was like, he was like, not doing this. Like, I was, it's like, there must be something. It feels like he is also one looking for validation from his parents.
Yep.
He wants that love story that his parents have too. And this season is full of people needing validation.
Oh my gosh.
Former poor people and hopeless romantics. This is wild.
I mean, as much as everybody was saying their storyline was like, I came from a poor place and I'm here now. The theme that I kept hearing that was reoccurring was, I'm sick of being lonely. Like literally that song, Sick of Being Lonely.
Yes.
I heard that over and over and over again. People were saying, they're hoping for the best. This is the last resort. They're the last one in their family to get married. All their girlfriends are already married. It was just a resonating theme. And it's like, you guys, that is not marriage readiness.
And that's what their parents are saying too. They're like, I don't know. But he's 35. It's not like he's 27 like Zach. He's 35.
But see, in the same respect, I wouldn't even expect you to say that at 35. I mean, maybe his parents got married early, but I would expect that from a son who's like 48. And they're like, why can't you be normal? But at 35, it feels a little premature, Pop. Like, let's relax.
Yeah, that was
his best friend died, Lee Pepper. See, this is what happened.
Yeah, that was the
matchmaking.
No, they talked about it on yesterday. There was multiple pictures too. He was like, I saw like a few years ago. He was like, all his friends was getting married stuff. Then a few years ago, his best friend had passed away, and it was just
yes, I do.
It took a toll on his life. Maybe look, that man, he's been going through it for the past couple of years. Okay,
yeah, because he said it made him reevaluate like what's important in life. I do remember that.
Yeah, Reese, this is the first season where everybody's about 30 plus, except for Zach. I'm also glad to see it because it's like, okay, these people are more in a position to be like, I think I'm ready for this. Right. But also, yes, but also.
I'm tired of
that can't be the reason.
You are 100%, Jamal. It doesn't qualify. It doesn't qualify. I would love to see a spin-off show where people that these individuals dated before talked about like what made these people not a good partner for them.
I don't know.
Like if somebody was like, let me tell you, when I was with them, they were.
But people be attention seeking. They say whatever they want to say, and then
it would be
you gonna ruin somebody's reputation online because you get 50 minutes of fame. No,
but it would be so much tea. It would be so much tea.
No, you just see. I thought you said you wanted Lifetime to be Fairy Tale of Roses.
A little bit of trash, just a little bit. Okay, all right. Tell me about Brett.
Brett is also a hopeless romantic. Her parents have also been married for 85 years. They are very much in love.
Yep.
She is sporty. They're both into sports and fitness. She does like training and coaching. She has a great job. She's very established woman. She's just ready for a partner. I can't remember. Oh, she got No, she's not the one that got cheated on. She just ain't been successful. I can't remember what she was saying about dating. But she's ready to be with somebody. When I was watching, so before seeing this picture, I was nervous because Brett is very pretty. But I thought that she was gonna look too old for him, and I didn't think he would be attracted to her. But seeing this, I didn't realize because she looked in her montage, she looks very tall and like it felt like it wasn't gonna be. I don't know. I just wasn't getting the feeling that he would be attracted to her. But now seeing this picture and seeing that she's actually way more petite than he is. And he's much bigger than her. I don't know why her montage made her look such like a larger than life. I don't know. But seeing this picture, I'm seeing, okay, they do go together.
That's interesting because I actually wrote that down. I wrote, she is not his type.
But now that I see this picture, I'm like, okay, they can go together. But I didn't see
it doesn't change my mind. I'd love to see. I mean, this looks like this is better chemistry than what we saw in some of the other couples who were like standing apart from each other, like Marla and Gil. I still don't think that she's particularly his type. Maybe that's why
we don't know what his type is. He dated 50 women. They could have been all over the spectrum.
He don't know either if he went through 50 women. Neither one of us, Ryan. We're both in the same boat. But I like her. I like Brett, but I agree.
I like her.
The jury's out on what I think she's attractive, but I don't know if he thinks she's attractive because she doesn't, to me, look like the typical Texan. And with him having older parents, I don't know what. I don't know. I'm curious. I think that she's beautiful, but I don't think that.
I'm gonna just go out there and say that he will be attracted to her. He falls in love very easily. I feel like they're gonna have like a very fast honeymoon stage where they're both like lovey-dovey because they both are gonna fall very quickly. But then like something's gonna happen and it's gonna be like this is why like it's gonna be like the reason why they usually break up with other people.
Yeah,
like
where the storm comes. Yeah.
Yes, but I feel like. Because it's always good in the beginning, and I feel like that's how it's going to be with them.
Well, Paige taught us it's not always good in the beginning or the middle.
Tasha's saying 0 out of 5. Right, Lee? What are you talking about? 5 out of 5.
Lee, you're a hopeless romantic girl.
You think Marla and Gil is gonna make a sis? Or I don't even know if you a sis. My bad, sir. Sis, tell me how to address you.
So funny.
How do you know they all blonde blue eyes? Who told you that? We didn't receive. You new here. You can't be coming up on here with no receipts, okay? It's important for you to have the receipts. You gotta send them to my Instagram or something. Yeah, I usually do, but I'm trying to, I make my first look predictions. And then I make other predictions, by the end of the honeymoon. That's my final prediction.
Yeah.
I think that they could make it. Huh?
I do have one question for you. Okay. She mentioned in there, like you said, her parents been married for a long time. His parents been married for a long time. is it more helpful or hurtful if you've seen what love looks like from your parents?
It's helpful if you've seen them, if you've seen how they sacrifice for each other, which she
Mm.
said she saw from her parents. She sees her mom doing stuff that she doesn't care to do for her dad because she just wants to spend time with him. She sees,
Yeah.
so it's like you get to, because a lot of parents, I won't say a lot, I don't have no statistics. There are parents who only have a positive front in front of their kids, which I think is what Zach got, and don't see the actual work it takes to stay married and be
Mhm.
married. So
Yeah.
so the kids get a false perception. They
Yeah.
think my parents, they never fought. They didn't have to go through all of this. Why am I going through all these different issues with you?
Ooh.
We don't I don't have to deal with this,
Yeah.
right?
So good.
So she saw that. I don't know if he did or not, but it just depends on how you grew up and what you got to see.
So good. No, that's excellent. I was just curious about that because I fall into that boat where my parents have been married for literally 50 years. And that is so hard every time I come out of a relationship because I'm like, here they have been together for 50 years, right? They worked it out, whatever their difference is. And here I am on month 6. and we're like coming to consensus that we should be friends, you know?
Well,
And
it's also a different
I like
time.
what you said a lot. I think it's it's what they reveal to you, which is so important, and then what you take from what they reveal to you. That's such a good response.
And she said she's waiting to do that with somebody. Her friends were telling her it's not all of the positives. Like there's gonna be days that you're gonna have to choose them. You're not gonna like them. She's like, I want to do that. Like
Yeah.
I'm waiting for somebody to do that with.
Yeah. I like that a lot. I like that she's been waiting. I love that it's been 2 years for her. She's clear mind, clear conscious, you know.
So this couple, I mean, depending, you know, I didn't get much, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention because I was getting tired. I didn't get much of what Ryan's personality is. Brett seems fun. Like she can have a good time. She chilled. She was at a bachelor party having fun too. She sat out for a little bit, went back and had a little bit more fun. You know what I'm saying? She's balanced.
Yeah.
Yes, so love. It was a very different time. I don't know if you've seen. There's this meme going around. Not a meme, a thread going around of these tweets. This guy was saying, you know, people talking about how people aren't staying together, but what was it? It was like men are upset, but like that they're actually oh man, let me find it. It was something about women actually aren't liking men. Like they're mad that they're not being liked, but it's like, bro, you don't even have a personality. Like our grandparent, it was different back then, where like
where there was a need for a man.
Yeah, and it's like people don't need that now. Now I'm here because I actually like you, but you know.
Yeah, and so Love is saying the same thing, right? She's saying, you know, your parents got married very young. She's absolutely right. When they got married 50 years ago, it was a different time. Women didn't necessarily provide for their whole households. Now we're in a circumstance where women don't necessarily need a man, but they want men, or they decide that they don't want men. And so it's very different, you know, if somebody is more of a luxury to you than a necessity.
Right.
And men haven't had to have that requirement where they work on themselves, or where they come fully healed, or where they come like resolved of their other issues. They used to just come as they are, and women would just kind of deal with all of that. And I think now we're at a place where we can be more discriminate about what we choose. And so in that, we make selections based on what we want and what we won't put up with. So
exactly.
It's interesting. By the way, you guys subscribe to Tasha's show and you'll get the alert next time she goes live if she decides to continue watching. If it's not enough drama.
I found it. It says men have to what went wrong with marriage in this generation. Men don't trust women and women feel like they don't even need men anymore. what the F was the spark of all this? And then somebody responded saying, men have to now get women to like them, and a lot of men aren't likable. And then he goes on to say, let's be honest about the situation. How many generations of men in history have ever had to get women to like them in order to have women be with them? Right. We're probably the first to ever have this, so nobody knows what to do. We're 2 generations removed from a woman not being able to have a bank account without a man. 3 to 4 removed from when they couldn't buy a home, couldn't work, couldn't get educated. They couldn't do nothing without a man. Right. Women quite literally used to need a guy, so they had to be with somebody regardless of if they liked the man or not. Today, they truthfully don't. They can leave you and be perfectly fine. Some of them might be better off. Your grandfather was probably a horrible husband.
I did see that one. Your granddaddy. Why did come for somebody's granddaddy? Hi, Reggie. We're not dragging men.
Reggie.
We love men. We love men.
I love men.
But we want them, not need them. Sorry.
He said, at best, he was probably emotionally distant and patriarchal. Right. Dudes used to have 2 whole families miles apart from each other and was emotionally abusive to both. That's not flying today. And truthfully speaking, it shouldn't. A lot of men want the same relationships they saw their families had, but never thought to ask, were the women happy in those situations? The real answer is a lot of them weren't. So fast forward to today, where a woman, truthfully speaking, doesn't need you. You got to come harder than your ancestors. You got to have substance. And a lot of these dudes just don't have substance. Yeah. And the guy who said it was like, not me though. Y'all be safe out here.
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you.
And then it says, exactly, as women become more financially self-sufficient, dealing with some men and all their drama becomes more of an option than a need. And men do not want to be thought of as an option. And then the guy says, man, y'all had some terrible grandparents. I didn't think that they liked that particular tweet about the grandfather, got lots of likes and retweets. And then somebody was like, not likable, have outdated misogynistic views, heavily lack introspection and disregard its importance, and literally have no leverage outside of money, if they even have that. So, and then it says, and they still won't try to be someone worth being with. They just ratchet up the patriarchal shaming in hopes women will stay, not out of financial necessity, but to avoid the shame of being single. So, it's like...
That was a mouthful.
It was a mouthful. I love men. I know amazing men. Reggie is one of them. Okay, Reggie, I'm not dragging you. I know amazing men.
Reggie projecting real quick. No one's dragging you.
Yeah, no, you're great, Reggie. And I meet amazing men all the time. I have amazing men around me all the time. It's just, there's some work that needs to be done for for all of us, right? And a lot of times, it's one-sided, but that's just not gonna fly. That just doesn't fly as much anymore, because the more people become self-aware, it's just like, I don't have to actually deal with these things. There are a plethora of women, a plethora of men around. I'll go find someone who's doing the work. So anyway, what was we talking about?
We were moving on to Rachel and Jose. We were wrapping up. This is so good.
Alrighty.
So good to see you guys.
This has been a great conversation.
It has.
Let's get these people off.
Because this is not where I was when I was watching yesterday. I was like, MAFS can kick rocks.
I know, all this conversation, I'm like, well, this is not that bad.
They're probably like, we got y'all. We knew y'all be back.
Oh, man.
Because I was like, they can kick rocks. I'm going to watch one episode and be out. I am not here for this trash. And then here I am taking notes like I'm in class again.
Right. Yes. Ain't it like a man, for real.
Yes. Agreed. So loud.
All right. So we said Rachel and Jose. This is Rachel and Jose, y'all.
Oh, pretty picture. Oh,
I'm super surprised. I wasn't ready for her to be taller than him. Well, she's probably actually not taller than him. She just has heels on. I wasn't expecting that at all. I didn't realize he was.
But you know what? I think I wrote down that he was short. I wrote down that he's overcompensating. So we'll get to it. I want to hear more about that, but I wrote down he's overcompensating somewhere. So that makes sense to me.
Okay, remember to remind me to talk about Dr. Viviana after this.
Okay, got you.
So, they started off with Rachel in this one. So Rachel just had some major weight loss. She's just done a bunch of inner work. She's like a whole different person. She's like become extra confident. She knows her boundaries and stuff now. She just got out of a relationship like 6 months prior. She was quarantined with someone, with her boyfriend. So they was kind of playing house, and she liked that, like, you know, having somebody there and be able to cook for them and do these things with them. But then she found out he was cheating on her, and so she broke up with him. Yeah. And then she lost like 35 pounds. She been, you know, getting the rest of her life together. She's very established. She, you know, wants to be married now. So she went to go tell her mom and her best friend that she got matched, and she quite possibly may like have the worst best friend I've ever seen on this show. Yeah. I was so turned off by her best friend's reaction, because her best friend's reaction wasn't like, "Oh my God, that's crazy." It was, "What if you go up there and he thinks you stink? What if you go up there and he's repulsed by you? Like, why would you think that's what he would say? Do you think I'm ugly? Do you think I stink? Like, why would he say any of those things? What do you actually think about me?"
That tells me more about what you think about me.
That was a huge projection.
Huge projection. And Reese said this, you said this, and Reese said this a few comments up, right? If you're projecting, you're kind of seeing what you're saying, right? And so I'm curious about her friend circle. I'm curious about the guy that cheated on her. Why are the people that are closest to you treating you so poorly? I agree with you. Huge turnoff.
That made me that legitimately pissed me off when I saw that. And I was like, ew.
Yeah.
What kind of friend are you? And then she was like, and then her whole spirit was crushed after that. You just saw, and like, and it wasn't that she was like so excited anyway to tell them. She was already nervous, and it just complete deflation.
Yeah.
And you could just see, like, and you were just like you said yesterday, she was like, she just put her confidence back up, and here you go. Like, whoa.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
It was editing, Reese. I just think that wasn't all she. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You could have said any other stuff, but why are those things something you would choose to say at all? I don't like. I wasn't a fan of that at all. At all.
Yeah, it made me write down, like, what do we really think about loyalty, right? Like, can you support someone without supporting their decisions? And it for me, her friend though reminded me of Zach's father, because Zach's father was like, "Oh, absolutely not. You're not ready. This is stupid, blah, blah, blah." He's very opinionated. And I felt sad for the families or for the groups that didn't have what it seemed like the support of the person, because they didn't support the decision. And I wonder if you can delineate the two and still be like, I'm not in agreement with this, but I love you and I'll be here while you go through that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Brett's was there for her. They're like, this is exciting. It's going to be crazy, but we're here. I felt bad that the other couples didn't get that kind of response.
But how do you, because I mean, I wouldn't want, especially if I don't actually agree with the decision, I don't want to be like, I need to be honest with you as a friend and let you know that I don't necessarily agree, right? But I'm not gonna tell no girl people what to do, right? Mm-hmm. I don't agree. If you're my real friend, right? I like you were saying last season, like, if it was my wedding, you would put me in the bathroom, even though I said I don't think I would want to hear that at that moment. You said no. I'm putting you in the bathroom, and I'm telling you, no. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I could be like, this is my wedding. Why would you do this to me right now? But it's like, no, I have to give you this truth because this could alter your life. I'm still here, Like, whatever you want to do, we can go back out there. You know what I'm saying? And I'll close my mouth now, but I still had to get this off my chest. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't know how that works. I think it really depends on the person.
Yeah, I think we have to practice leading with love. Like I agree. Yeah, sure. Last season, if you had a Chris, for me, that's egregious. That's an emergency. That's more than just red flags. That's a whole ship sinking, right? And so I have a different sense of urgency to caution you. But I think if you came to me and said, hey, I've been casted for the show, it's a little crazy, I'm nervous, I think that there's a way to respond and say, yeah, it is a little crazy and nervous, but you know what? You haven't made any like really ridiculous decisions in the past. I can trust that if you're willing to take this risk, I'm willing to just be in your corner. It doesn't mean that I have to like, I don't know, help you buy your wedding dress, but I can show up for you. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying, what does showing up look like if it's not coming with me to buy my wedding dress, right?
Right. What does it look like? It's the question that I had. It's what I wrote down. I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
You're not gonna walk through it with me. So then, are you here for me? You know what I mean? It's a thin line.
It is.
Agreed. It's a thin line. So, then everyone needs a friend like Johnny's friend, Kim. Why do you? Yes. Why did she did ask him those questions? Why do you need a stage 5 clinger?
Yeah.
You got to have those friends to ask you those same things. Like, okay, let's unpack this. That's not healthy. Why is that something that you need?
Good point.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So loved. You're absolutely right. That Mindy and Zach. Ugh. Those vibes.
I don't remember.
Or Matt and Amber. That's who it was. Matt and Amber, basketball player. Oh, yeah. Play basketball.
Wait, what do you think is a repeat of them?
This couple? No, not this one. No, when Johnny needs a stage 5 clinger. Oh, that's what Amber was, right? She needed somebody who was like, not going to leave, and that abandonment issue.
Yeah. Okay. So Jose is picky in particular, like everybody else on this season, apparently.
Yeah, the 30s, man, they do something to you.
Right. Oh, no, she's talking about this couple. Oh, wow. Okay, that's what you, okay.
Oh, all right.
Tell us why.
Predictions.
That's so funny because I said that this is the only couple, I wrote in my notes, this is the only couple that has a chance. And you're telling me they have no chance at all, basically.
Oh.
He's very established. He's accomplished major things in his life. He's ready for a wife. She's ready to be a wife. I think culturally they'll get along. I didn't see any red flags for this one aside from Jose being picky in particular, and him if he is picking at her in particular, like that might take her back to when she wasn't as confident, because because her mom was telling her, she was like, you're gonna have to make sure you speak up about the way you're actually feeling about things. Make sure you hold your boundaries, because if not, you're gonna hold all that stuff in, and it's gonna blow up at the end. And he literally was saying communication is the most important. I want to know. You have to tell me, because otherwise I won't know. He said that multiple times. He's like, I need you to communicate with me. I need you to talk to me so that I can do the small things for you, so that I can, he wants to please his wife. So if they can get that, if the communication can actually work out, I think I don't really foresee a huge problem with them.
Yeah, I don't know. He gave me what do you bring to the table vibes. I know that he's very, very proud of his accomplishments, and he was running down his resume in that 60-second intro that they gave him. That perfectionist accomplishment, it felt very much like, what do you bring to the table? And what are you doing?
That's actually, yep, that he had the energy, because, and Jamal just said it. He was saying, because I remember because he said more than once, he wants somebody who's going to contribute to the chores, like nobody who's just gonna try to get a free ride. So something must have happened with him.
Yeah, that's it. I was
Or
just
somebody had taken advantage of him or something.
That sounds like trauma. That sounds
I mean, when you hear people talk, they will tell you all the limiting beliefs and traumas, and they don't even know that they're telling you everything. He thinks many women want something handed to them on a silver platter and want someone educated and classy. His mom responded, "How about someone that communicates?" And he said he really wants that too.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. He sounds like unresolved trauma. There might have been maybe one or two women that saw his success and took advantage of that. And so now it's a sweeping stereotype of most women. And sir, you haven't been with most women. So it just, I wrote down like, he's overcompensating for something. And for me, I really don't like that energy when you portray all of these accomplishments, but then you get mad when people take advantage of you because of your accomplishments.
Sure.
It's like you push this out, that you impose
this is who you said you were.
Yeah, this is what you said you were, that you were this elite provider, super successful. So then when people leverage what you put out there, now you upset. So put something different out there.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't see this couple making it for me. I think she's very sweet, but I don't foresee her having a voice.
Yeah, I don't know why I wrote that in my notes. Because after the show was over, I don't feel like I felt like that for real. I don't know why I wrote that.
Well, you were very sleepy. It was a 3-hour show. So.
I was sitting up for most of the time. Then after a while, I was like, let me just
okay. So if we went back, we said no for Rachel and Jose. I want to know your predictions.
Okay, hold on. Let me just get this comment. Well, he was saying that somebody was like, what questions are you going to ask when you first, like when you guys get to the reception? He's like, I've been so nervous. I've been writing everyone down that I think of. And so far I've gotten to 250 of them.
That's insane. I heard that and was like, that's insane.
Well, you could tell him and Zach and Johnny were very nervous. And like, you could just, him writing down every question that he thinks of to ask her is like you're trying to be so prepared. Like, it's okay, bro. Chill.
Mechanical is what I wrote down. When he said 250, I was like, mechanical. He makes my eyes roll. Oh, this was what was interesting about this couple. They were both betrayed by cheaters. So she was in a relationship with somebody who cheated. And then I think he said one of his parents cheated. Did you hear that? Did anybody, Jamal? I got to pull the transcript.
Right. Jamal, please.
Did somebody say that either his parent cheated? I wrote down they were both betrayed by cheaters. So I was always trying to look for what are the experts using as their connecting point. And for me, their connecting points are always so deeply dug that it's like, how do they get through all this surface stuff to get to the one or two things that they're connected on? I think it's too much of a shot in the dark.
I'd like to point out that I think this is the first season that there's only one white couple.
Oh, good point.
Never before happened. We have 2 Latin couples on here. Well,
which is not what I was expecting for Texas.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of Latins and Hispanics and Mexicans.
For sure. I just would, if you asked me, would you see more Caucasians? I would expect it to be in.
I would think that the white people in Texas, though, they're so family oriented, they probably be lined up, married all the time.
Right.
So, actually, that actually doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, very diverse. I agree, so love. Very colorful, very diverse cast.
So let me take this off. So let's get into what we think here. As of right now, my initial predictions for these people is that my initial predictions are they're gonna make it.
Okay. Rachel and Jose are gonna make it.
Initial predictions, they're gonna make it.
Okay.
Let me go back. Hold on. Merlin and Gail not making it.
Oof.
Not making it.
We'll
But
be
her
ready for that
dress
man's
is
DM.
bad, boy. That dress is bad.
Yeah,
Woo!
the
That dress
dress
is
is tough,
bad.
but they're gonna be
Fire.
ready. They're gonna be ready in that man's DMs as soon as they announce that they're not together.
Oh no, they in the DMs now. What you thought? What you thought? Michaela and Zach. I want them to make it. I want them to make it. But I don't think they will.
Okay.
From what I've seen so far.
So that's a no.
That's a no for now.
That's a no for now. I think
no for now.
I think they will make it. I think it's going to be a tough road, but they're going to make. I think they will make it. Yeah, Gil and Marta don't stand a chance. All right.
Brett and Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, I think that they will make it. I didn't change my whole tune on everybody. Hold on now. I was like, ain't nobody gonna make it at the beginning. We had all these conversations. I'm like, okay, well, you know.
You think they will?
They don't stand a chance. That's hilarious. Dang,
Yeah,
you don't think they stand a chance?
Think so.
No. She's talking about Michaela and Zach. Yo, this is different.
For Michaela and Zach. I think they do. I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna try hard, but I think it's gonna be a rough road. I think it's gonna, like if it was last season, I think 5 out of the 6 months that we're watching are gonna be rocky road, and then that last month that you get close to the decision day, that's when it's gonna like turn it around. But I don't know. Okay, so you're saying
I think Brett and Ryan will make it because Ryan is gonna be so laid back.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna let Brett be herself and flourish. And he just like, I'm married now. I'm not about to rock this boat. We here.
He's tired.
He's tired. And she has great. And it's not like she's a Merla. She has great personality. She's fun. She's willing to accommodate. You know what I mean? So if he's not initially attracted, I think she would grow on him. Because of her personality. And I think he's late, and they have stuff in common. Like they both are very much into sports. It's just what he wanted. And she's into multiple fitness and sport things. And so they have actual commonalities. Yeah. And then they both come from very strong marriage families too. So they have support to lean on also. So I think that they might make it.
I still have a no. I still think that his attraction to her. I agree with those other points that you mentioned. You know, he is laid back and 40. I don't think he's attracted to her. And that served me last time. When my predictions about people who were not truly, truly attracted to each other served last time. And so I'm gonna
let's wait till he sees her.
Nope. It's a no for me.
Okay.
It's a no. He doesn't like her. I know these men.
Okay.
I know these men better than they know themselves. Okay, wait.
Then it's Bao and Johnny.
Bao.
I think they're gonna make it.
You think yes? Okay, I do too. I think
so. What's that? I said yes for 3 out of 5.
So, love, do you think Bao and Johnny will make it? I'm curious.
Jamal, what's wrong with me?
No for Merla. You said no for Zach and Michaela. You said yes for Bao and Johnny. You said yes for Brett and Ryan. You said yes for Rachel and Jose. So yeah, you're like 3 and 3.
Okay, that's so these are not final predictions. Okay, this is just first look. This is just first look.
What episode do you do final closed?
After the end of the honeymoon, decide. Okay. That's when I just say yes or no.
Reese said. Okay, Reese said the same thing. Reese said her predictions.
I need to see them at least 3 days together.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I don't need to adjust mine. This was fun. You told me to remind you about Dr. Viviana.
Yes. Before I talk about the future of what's going to happen with this, let me airdrop this to myself because I don't know if anyone else.
She's like in agreement with Lee now. Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
Lee Pepper was saying like yes to all
Lee said 5 out of 5. I ain't saying all of that. I'm not saying 5 out of 5. I need y'all to see this before we end, because I need anyone else had the same thought that I had, because I know I'm not crazy. Sorry, I'm airdropping it to myself. Okay, let me accept it. Where is it? See, because I have this on. Okay, sorry. Let me take this off. Oh, it's ending. This is really important to me for whatever reason. And I think it's worth mentioning. So let me find this photo. Okay.
You guys don't forget to subscribe and put the notifications on so you can see.
And like is even more important than subscribing.
Yeah.
Share screen window. So did anybody else notice that Dr. Viviana was cosplaying last night as Pocahontas?
What? I didn't even know.
Why is she cosplaying as Pocahontas on the show? Sis, what are you doing? Hi, Veronica.
Hey, boo.
Out of this. I was like, I know I am not losing my mind.
Girl, they be trying to give her looks.
What is she doing? Oh, you saw it? Okay, Veronica, you saw it. Thank you.
I wish they would focus on the couples instead of these struggle outfits.
This one shoulder with the turquoise necklace with the braid. You are not Polka. Yeah, what is going on? Okay, as long as I wasn't the only one. Okay, okay. Yeah. So let me quickly talk about the future. So guys, I am not going to be here every week. So honestly, I had the intention to come on here saying I ain't going to be on here any week talking about this show no more, because I am drained.
It's draining.
Last season drained me to the point that I did not enjoy. If y'all can go back and watch the lives, I didn't want to be there. I'm like, why are we still here? Legitimately, like, that's a quote from me. What are we still doing here? I don't care anymore. And so it drained me to the point where I'm just like, I have lost my what is it? It's not, the word's not hope. I've lost it for MAFS, and they need to prove to me that they're in it for the right reasons.
Oh,
because that season they were not.
Tables turned.
We didn't come here for the mess, and they dragged the mess on purpose. We were in the honeymoon for almost 2 months. It felt like, you know what I'm saying? Why are we still watching the show 6 months later? They only be together 2 months.
Yeah, those are great words. They're throwing in the chat. They agree with you. Zeal.
Those aren't the words that I was thinking, but those words work for sure.
Those words work.
So I came on here with the intention of saying I'm not going to watch it all. They done pull me in now. Okay, now we done had all these. This honestly, Siobhan, thank you so much for joining today, because Kason couldn't be here. I mean, this has been an amazing conversation, and I didn't like we talked about some stuff I didn't even think about last night. So thank you so much. Y'all give Dr. Siobhan another round of applause, because she's always
thank you for
awesome.
Having me. I love this show.
Yeah, this was a great conversation. I'm actually happy that we did this. So what I'm thinking is I'll watch it on my own time, because I'm not going to spend 3 hours on a Wednesday night and all these commercials and stuff watching it just to do this on Thursdays. So what I'll do is watch it on my own time, and we'll hit milestones. So let's do after the honeymoon. I can give my final predictions. So that'll probably be 2-3 weeks from now. Let's maybe even 4 weeks, honestly, because we still got We've got 2 more. We got 4 more weddings, which will probably drag on for 2 episodes. Then they're gonna do receptions and first nights together. Then they're gonna do honeymoons. So we'll probably be back in a month and a half. Okay, we'll come back after honeymoon and do final predictions, and then come back at the 1 month anniversary, and then come back for the reunion.
Yeah, love that idea.
Okay. So we'll do four episodes, and we'll have a good time about that. Okay. I can't do every week. I can't. I have to take care of myself. I can't. So
it's just so unrealistic. Like, what are they expecting? It's so unrealistic. Who was living this 3-hour television episode? Like, I can eat at the beginning of the show and I'm hungry again at the end. I can't do this. I can't live this life.
Yes. So yeah, we'll do the milestones, and so everybody agree to come back for that, and we'll have some fun.
Love
that. Yeah, I love you guys so much. I'm so happy to see y'all's names again. I was scared y'all wouldn't come back, but I'm happy to see y'all, man. I love y'all for real. What one thing be saying? I love us for real.
I love us for real.
I love us for real. Thank y'all. I love you guys, and I'll see y'all in maybe a month. Okay, I'll be posting on my channel regular stuff, so subscribe if you want to see other content. But for this MAFS live, we'll be back after the honeymoon. So love y'all. Bye. Bye. And